Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
AFP ensures safe and orderly 2025 elections. AFP maintains strong public trust with 60% satisfaction rating. COMELEC denies vote manipulation and dagdag bawas in election returns data. DA starts selling 20 pesos per kilogram rice in National Capital Region.
Good day to everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today is Wednesday, May 14, and we will bring you the latest news from the armed forces and other information across the country. I am Rob Suzanabay for AFP Community News.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our stories, Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr. expressed heartfelt gratitude to the AFP personnel for their dedication in securing polling places, transporting election materials, and protecting citizens in vulnerable areas as the 2025 national and local elections conclude. He acknowledged that their unwavering commitment ensured a peaceful and orderly election process. General Browner also thanked the Filipino people for their active participation and trust in the democratic process. He also assured that the AFP will continue to support the Commission on Elections, the Philippine National Police, and other agencies in safeguarding the country's democracy and upholding the rule of the law.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines sustained high public trust with a 60% satisfaction rating in a recent nationwide survey by Tangere. Among the AFP branches, the Philippine Army ranked highest at 60.2%, followed closely by the Navy at 59.8% and the Air Force at 58.5%. The military's consistent professionalism and support for government initiatives have helped maintain its solid public image. While other agencies showed varied performance, the AFP remained one of the most trusted institutions in the country. The survey conducted on May 8 to 9, 2025 involved 1,500 respondents across all regions using mobile-based sampling with a positive-negative 2.48% margin of error.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now from NOLCOM, let us hear some information from Joanne about 703rd Infantry Brigade ensures safe and secure voting.
The 703rd Infantry Aguila Brigade, led by Brigadier General Eugenio Julio C. Ocias IV, successfully maintained peace and order during the 2025 national and local elections in its area of responsibility covering Nueva Ecija, Bulacan, Pampanga, Aurora, and Alfonso Castañeda in Nueva Vizcaya. According to Brigadier General Ocias, the brigade's efforts in close coordination with the Philippine National Police and the Commission on Elections ensured the safe and secure exercise of democratic rights by the Filipino people. The military's present at polling precincts, major thoroughfares, and strategic areas backed by intelligence monitoring and rapid deployment teams helped deter threats and ensured immediate responses to potential disruptions. No major election-related incidents were recorded within the AOR. Brigadier General Ocias commended the troops, law enforcement units, and the city sentry for their collective discipline, vigilance, and cooperation, saying that the successful and peaceful conduct of the election is a testament to the unity and professionalism of the security forces. The military's non-partisan role was upheld with integrity and commitment, with the brigade fulfilling its constitutional mandate to protect the sanctity of the ballot while remaining apolitical and focused on preserving peace and order. This is John Sagak reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne from NOLCOM.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Philippine Fleet Commander Rear Admiral Joe Anthony Orbe visited the fleet personnel and assets in Dipole Point in Naval Detachment Oyster Bay in Palawan. He conducted direct dialogues with officers and crew aboard key vessels, including BRP Andres Bonifacio, BRP Valentin Diaz, and others. He addressed the concerns and encouraged open communication. The visit highlighted the fleet's commitment to personnel welfare, mission readiness, and sustained maritime defense.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Army actively participated in the Interpol-led 2025 Global Congress on Chemical Security and Emerging Threats held in Amman, Jordan. Representing the Army, Major Leonora Linga emphasized the military's role in shaping the chemical security policy and fostering public-private partnerships. She highlighted collaboration in combating chemical threats and cited the newly enacted Chemical Weapons Prohibition Act. The Army reaffirmed its commitment to intelligence-driven, cooperative defense efforts for national and global security.
Armed Forces Radio.
From Solcom, let's hear from Sena about 903rd Infantry Brigade received CGPA Streamer Award for counter-insurgency success.
The 903rd Infantry Patriot Brigade, headed by Brigadier General Jose Ricky Lanyog, was personally awarded the CGPA Streamer Award by Lieutenant General Roy M. Galido during his visit to the 9th Infantry Division. The 96th Infantry Ala Battalion and the 9th Military Intelligence Battalion were also honored in recognition of their successful counterinsurgency operations in their respective areas. In this regard, Brigadier General Jose Ricky Lanyog, commander of the 903rd Infantry Brigade, expressed his gratitude for the said recognition and stressed that this will serve as an important inspiration for his unit to further increase their dedication in promoting peace and security in the region. This is Sena from Solcom reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Sena from Solcom.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Police and military forces arrested around 80 men in Pualas, Lanao del Sur after they engaged in stone throwing near a polling center during the ongoing elections. The suspects, whose actions threatened to disrupt the voting process at Pualas National High School, were restrained and brought to the local police station for investigation. Security forces quickly contained the situation and maintained order in the election hotspot and preventing further violence.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, the Commission on Elections assured the public that no vote manipulation or system glitch has occurred in the recent elections. COMELEC Chairperson George Erwin Garcia said the delay was not due to any failure on the part of the COMELEC, but likely stemmed from technical issues with the data processing at the PPCRV or Parish Pastoral Council for Responsible Voting Command Center. Garcia explained that the data comes from the same primary server in Makati City and is transmitted simultaneously to all accredited recipients. However, differences may arise based on the programs and systems used to process and display the data.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let's hear more from Gio about Philippine Army joins blood donation drive in Libis, Quezon City.
The Philippine Army participated in the blood donation campaign held at the 51st Engineering Brigade Headquarters in Libis, Quezon City. The event carried the team Dugong Alay ng Laang Kawal at mga makabagong bayani tungo sa matatag na sandigan ng bagong Pilipinas. The initiative brought together a wide range of participants, including reservists from the 502nd Ready Reserve Brigade, ROTC cadets from various academic institutions, and civilians from the local community. The blood donation drive was met with a commendable response, resulting in 169 individuals successfully donating blood. This collaboration not only emphasized the importance of community service, but also reinforced the bonds between military personnel and the public. This is Gio reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gio.
DWDD National News.
The Commission on Elections has suspended the proclamation of 19 local and national bets until the complaints against them were resolved by the poll body. COMELEC spokesperson John Rex Lojanco said that the order of proclamation suspension issued by the Commission Bank will stay until the cases are resolved. Lojanco added that the suspension of the proclamation order can only be lifted by the Supreme Court through the issuance of a temporary restraining order. He also noted that the COMELEC was due to issue more suspension of proclamation in the coming days due to various complaints.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. thanked all Filipinos who made their vote count and reminded newly elected leaders to work towards the common goal of making the Philippines better. Marcos said that once again the democracy has renewed itself peacefully, orderly, and with dignity. The chief executive emphasized that it is both a celebration of continuity and a call to act on the real challenges the people face. It then lauded voters for choosing the candidates he said who will listen and act on the problems such as high inflation, unemployment, and corruption.
Armed Forces Radio.
And more updates from Leonor. Philippine Navy boosts ties with Finland through cultural diplomacy.
The Civil Military Operations Group of the Philippine Navy paid a courtesy visit to Finland's ambassador to the Philippines, Her Excellency Saija Nurminen, at the Embassy of Finland in Bonifacio Global City, Taguig. The visit forms part of the Navy's ongoing efforts to strengthen diplomatic ties with Finland, placing emphasis on cultural exchange as a tool of international goodwill. A key element of the visit was the presentation of 4 handcrafted artworks by J.O.T. Christine Ann Sowillion Lim, Philippine Navy, in which it represents the shared values of unity and friendship between the Philippines and Finland. The visit not only reinforced mutual respect between both nations, but also laid the groundwork for stronger bilateral relations. This is Leonor Tarap reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Leonor.
DWDD National News.
And more updates from the recent elections. The Commission on Elections said that the National Board of Canvassers started the official vote tally at 10 a.m. yesterday. It begins with a review of local absentee voting results. COMELEC Chairperson George Garcia emphasized that while the process is underway, the proclamation of winning senatorial candidates may take up to 5 days, with final declarations expected by the weekend. The canvassing will also follow a meticulous procedure, starting with local absentee voting documents before moving to municipal, provincial, and national certificates of canvass.
DWDD National News.
On the other hand, Commission on Elections Chairperson George Erwin Garcia denied allegations of dagdag bawas in election returns data. According to COMELEC, discrepancies observed in the vote counts published by other entities were the result of repeated inclusion of previously transmitted election returns. This happened because earlier data were sometimes bundled again with newly transmitted returns, causing duplication in the displayed results. These overlaps led to public speculation and suspicion of vote padding or shaving, locally known as dagdag bawas. COMELEC also firmly denied these allegations, attributing the inconsistencies to the way third-party groups process and convert machine-readable data into human-readable formats.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now some information from Jai about troops deployed for disaster response operations amid Canlaon unrest.
ROF, the Armed Forces of the Philippines has deployed around 200 personnel and various land assets to support disaster response operations following the recent eruption of Mount Canlaon. AFP spokesperson Colonel Fansel Margaret Padilla stated that the deployment aims to assist communities affected by the volcanic activity, ensuring swift and effective relief efforts on the ground. It will be recalled that on Tuesday, Mount Canlaon recorded a moderately explosive eruption, sending a grayish plume approximately 3 kilometers into the sky. The AFP remains on high alert and continues to coordinate closely with local government units and disaster response teams to provide ongoing support. This is Joy reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jai.
DWDD National News.
Up to 288 bags of trash, such as sample ballots, plastic bottles, and food packs, were collected in the metropolis on Election Day. The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority said the haul was equivalent to 1.44 tons of trash. The Commission on Elections then reminded all candidates, both winners and losers, to take down their campaign posters. COMELEC chairperson or spokesperson John Rex Laujanco said the candidates are mandated to remove campaign materials within 5 days after the election.
DWDD National News.
For other national news, the Department of Agriculture started selling 20 pesos per kilogram of rice in 12 Kadiwa centers in the National Capital Region. The cheaper rice can be purchased by members of vulnerable groups, particularly the Pantawid Program or Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino Program beneficiaries, the senior citizens, persons with disabilities, and single parents. They are allowed to purchase 10 kilograms per week or 30 kilograms per month. Bringing down the price of rice to 20 pesos was one of the campaign promises of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Ferry about ICS Level 1 training wraps up at Naval Station Felix Apolinario, Davao.
Good day, everyone. The Naval Forces Eastern Mindanao, in collaboration with the Eastern Mindanao Command and the Office of Civil Defense Region 11, successfully wrapped up the Incident Command System Level 1 training at Naval Station Felix Apolinario in Panacan, Davao City. The training gathered personnel from 1 NFEM and EMC, equipping them with essential knowledge and practical skills on incident command structure, operational roles, and emergency response procedures. This initiative is a part of ongoing efforts to enhance participants' readiness and effectiveness in disaster and crisis situations, aligning with the ICS framework and used in large-scale emergency operations. With this training, NFEM reaffirms its commitment to building a capable and interoperable forces that are ready to lead and respond effectively in times of crisis. This is Ferdy Blues reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Ferdy.
DWDD National News.
Moreover, some 35,000 bags of well-milled National Food Authority rice for the pilot test of the government's 20 pesos per kilo rice initiative had arrived in Cebu province. The Department of Agriculture said the NFA on Monday began unloading the rice shipment from the Grains Agency's Mindoro warehouse. The 35,000 bags of NFA well-milled rice form part of the 600,000 bags of rice ordered by Cebu Governor Gwendolyn Garcia for the province's 20 per peso kilo rice initiative. Cebu, along with Bohol, Siquijor, and Southern Leyte, joined the subsidized rice initiative and has an initial combined order of 6,000 or 670,050 kilo bags for the pilot test that will run until December.
DWDD National News.
A moderate explosive eruption from Canlaon volcano on Negros Island caused ashfall events that blanketed 54 barangays. Aside from ashfall, residents had to deal with the stench of sulfur that came with the eruption. According to the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, ballistic fragments were thrown around the crater. burning vegetation near the volcano summit. Despite the moderate explosive eruption, the Canlaon remains under alert level 3. If the volcano's activities escalate further, the FIVOS may raise the alert to level 4 and extend the danger zone from 6 to 10 kilometers.
Armed Forces Radio.
From our reporter on the ground, let us hear from Kath about Philippine Air Force Chief visits home of the scanners in La Union.
Yes, Rolf, the Commanding General of the Philippine Air Force, Lieutenant General Arthur M. Cordura, conducted an official field visit to the home of the scanners at Wallace Air Station in San Fernando City, La Union. He was warmly welcomed by the scanners led by Brigadier General Ronnie D. Pitinglay, Wing Commander of the 580th Aircraft Control and Warning Wing, ACWW. During his talk to troops, General Cordura emphasized the focus path, a command thrust centered on building a mission-oriented, capability-driven, and values-based Air Force. He encouraged the scanners to embrace and uphold these guiding principles, reaffirming the PAF's commitment to national defense and its role as a reliable partner in ensuring peace and stability both at home and across.
Thank you, Kath.
DWDD National News.
And for other national news, the Anti-Money Laundering Council has launched a probe into the alleged money laundering of the ransom money paid for the release of businessman Anson Q. IAMLC said it is working closely with the Philippine National Police, the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, and the casinos on the case. It said the ransom money was originally paid in the Philippine pesos and US dollars, but was later converted to cryptocurrency. The AMLC said the illicit scheme reportedly used e-wallets intended exclusively for casino gaming, shell accounts, and cryptocurrency to obscure the money trail.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that's all for today's broadcast, and thank you so much for joining us, especially to our audience in our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Rolf Suzunabay for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.